Hello and welcome to our Nigerian viewers and viewers across the world. This is Lunchtime Politics, where we unpack and dissect issues of national interest. We also walk you through the biggest political stories this hour. Let's check out our radar. President Bola Tinubu arrives in Nairobi from France, Paris to attend the Africa Forward Summit. Plus on the program, APC State House of Assembly Screening Committee in Rivers State screened a total of 98 aspirants seeking to contest the party's primaries. And in Osun State, critical stakeholders of a core political party say they are optimistic that socio-political and various indices have indicated that the people of the state have resolved to re-elect the governor of that state, Senator Ademola Adeleke, for his second term in office. Lunchtime Politics starts right now. Many thanks indeed for joining us, everyone, on the program. The countdown to 2027 has officially begun across the corridors of power, within party structures, and among millions of hopeful Nigerians at home and in the diaspora. The conversations are growing even louder. The stakes are higher and expectations even greater. And today, we take a bold look into the future of Nigeria's democracy, the alliances, the ambitions, and the policies and the power plays shaping the road ahead of 2027, from governance to economic reforms to youth participation, national unity, security, and electoral integrity. This is more than politics. This is the future of a nation of over 200 million people. So that's our focus, everyone, on the program. But first, let's walk you through some of our stories making headlines this hour. We begin this hour with our breaking news, where the Minister of Education, Tunji Alausa, says candidates seeking admission into the NCE program will no longer require the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME. But the minister has also revealed that candidates will only need a minimum requirement of 4 credits in school certificate examinations. And that's our breaking story this hour for Nigerians. The Minister of Education, Tunji Alausa, saying that revealing that candidates seeking admission into the NCE program will no longer require the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. That's the UTME. All right, more stories for you. We go over to Nairobi, where President Bola Tinubu has arrived in Kenya from Paris in France earlier today, and was received at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport by a delegation of senior Nigerian government officials. As part of his official itinerary, the president is attending the Africa Forward Summit, which is taking place at the Kenyatta International Convention Center. He is participating in a high-level session alongside more than 30 other African heads of state and government. The summit we hear is being co-chaired by French President Emmanuel Macron and Kenya's President William Ruto. Is highlighting Nigeria's ongoing efforts to strengthen strategic partnerships and underscores Nigeria's commitment to fostering deeper ties with both African counterparts and the French Republic. Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu received right there at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi, Kenya. Well, back home, the Renewed Hope Network group in Lagos State has endorsed President Bola Tinubu for his second term in office, and Mr. Kadri Hamzat as its 2027 Lagos State governorship candidates, urging Lagosians to support their candidates at the polls. The group revealed this endorsement during a special congregational prayer for the re-election of President Tinubu and that of Mr. Hamzat. It was held at the Tafawa Balewa Square here in Lagos.
Mr. President, you can't be tired. Please continue to provide the leadership for us, the younger generation. You know what leadership entails. We want to assure you that come the season that is just ahead of us, you don't need to move around, especially we from Osun State. You don't need to come to Osun State. Osun State will deliver 100%. Òun náà ni endorsement tí gbogbo yín náà ti fọwọ́ sí, tí ọmọ yín, ẹ̀gbọ́n yín, ọkọ yín. Raise our hand up.
Our father, the president of this country, must continue the job he's doing to save Nigeria, protect Nigeria. That is why we are here, to endorse him for second term and to endorse also my candidature as the candidate of our party in Lagos.
In the meantime, the All Progressives Congress APC State House of Assembly Screening Committee in Rivers State has screened a total of 98 aspirants seeking to contest the party's primaries for the State House of Assembly seats across the 32 constituencies in the state. Speaking after the screening exercise of the party secretariat in Port Harcourt, the secretary of the committee, Tanko Yamoa, who represented the chairman, Muraina Ajibola, described the exercise as peaceful and successful, expressing satisfaction with the orderly conduct of the aspirants.
These days you have been around here with us, and we haven't had any challenges. It has been very peaceful, and the committee had been very up and doing, straight to their task, looking at all the aspirants, and they interviewed, or screened a total of 98 aspirants who are aspiring to the Rivers State House of Assembly to fly the flag of the party for the 32 constituencies in Rivers State.
I think it's a successful one. The aspirant or the people of Rivers conducted themselves in a very good manner, and this is not what we are expecting, but they've given us a surprise. We are thinking maybe we'll face some challenges, but since yesterday and today, nobody has come here to cause any trouble, and that is to say the APC are one family in Rivers State.
The process was free and fair. The screening committee, they did a good work, and everything went on smoothly. Like you can say, I just finished the process and I came out.
Well, a lot of drama has been playing out as regards Rivers State. Part of it is because Rivers State's governor, Siminalayi Fubara, on Sunday, we hear reports suggesting that he walked out of the APC governorship screening exercise in Abuja, deepening speculations over growing tensions surrounding his re-election bid. The governor arrived at the Plateau Governor's Lodge venue of the screening at about 3 p.m. but left the session less than 30 minutes later without addressing party members or journalists waiting outside the premises. All right, just before we get into our conversation this hour, let's also tell you that the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, has declared his intentions to seek a fifth term in the lower chamber of the National Assembly ahead of the 2027 general elections. The declaration took place in Zaria, Kaduna State, where thousands of APC supporters gathered in what organizers describe as a massive show of solidarity. Addressing the crowd, the Speaker says his re-election bid is based on what he describes as visible achievements and impactful representation since he first entered the House of Reps in 2011. And the Speaker also uses the occasion to commend President Bola Tinubu for what he calls courageous reforms, while praising Kaduna State's Governor Uba Sani for efforts towards peace and development in the state.
I formally declare my intention to take another mandate to represent the good people of Federal constituency in the House of Representatives. This declaration is not based on promise alone. It is based on work. It is based on results. It is based on record. that our people can see and verify. Before becoming Speaker of the House of Representatives, I remain one of the most active lawmakers in the country, where I sponsored a record-breaking 74 bills, out of which 21 were signed into law. We supported transport operators, party structures, community leaders, youth groups, and small business owners with tricycles, motorcycles to improve livelihoods, strengthen mobility, and create opportunities.
Well, in Osun State, critical stakeholders of Accord Party say they are optimistic that socio-political and various indices have indicated that the people of the state have resolved to re-elect Governor Ademola Lookman for his second term in office. During a Walk to Victory rally held across strategic places in Osogbo, the stakeholders insisted that the people have demonstrated this resolve in so many ways, among which is the regular defection from different parties into the ruling party in the state.
For government to consider his flyover, 2 flyovers in Osogbo at a time, a lot of dry roads, a lot of projects that the previous administration abandoned. He has completed almost all the projects. So we need to show him appreciation. As we are moving from Italokan to this place, you can see the business owners and others. You can see what they are doing. They are showing us the love. They are waving, trying to let us know that they are with us. So people of Osogbo are with us, the business owners are with us, and all the artisans, they are with us. All other sectors, they are with us, because we have transformed Osogbo, not only Osogbo, Osun State, into a small London.
When you see something that is good, you don't have to be forced before you join. These are people who have seen the great work that Mr. Governor is doing, the progress that Osun is recording, and so willingly they have decided to join the moving train. That is what is happening here today. And so what you are seeing here today is a demonstration of that commitment. The way you have seen this large crowd today is the way you will see votes massively delivered from Mr. Governor on the 15th of August.
All right, let's begin the conversation with you this hour. Nigeria's political development ahead of 2027. A lot has been playing out already. Jerry Chukwueke is a public affairs analyst, an APC chieftain, and also a former chief technical advisor to the Imo State governor. He joins us live on the program. Thank you indeed, Chief Chukwueke, for joining us on the program. Good to see you again.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
I'm not sure the last time we had a conversation. It should be 2025, if I remember well.
Yes, late, I think 2025.
Late 2025.
Late, yes, indeed.
And a lot has played out since that time. I'll take you up on what you've said recently about President Bola Tinubu restoring Nigeria's credibility in the global landscape. But just before I head into that, what exactly is playing out with these APC screening and primaries and the idea of a consensus candidates? There's a lot of hearsay. Governor Sim Fubara, we hear, walked out of that screening. He didn't speak to the media. He allowed us to speculate. And I've said that, for Sim Fubara, the governor, I'm not sure if I'm going to say this, but some will say that's not his real face. He doesn't smile a lot. If he's not smiling, then he has this stern look. So perhaps, not smiling and telling the media he had nothing to say has allowed a lot of speculations. And we hear that he didn't spend up to 20 minutes as well in that screening exercise. He's not the only one who had not attended the screening. The governor of Kwara State, Abdulrazak, the governor of Ebonyi State, Mr. Nwufuru as well, we hear, had not attended the screening as well, as at the time that we heard of Sim's absence as well. But eventually, Sim was there. But it begs the question as per exactly the undertone in what is playing out in Rivers State. Now we hear that the members loyal to Sim Fubara, the likes of Oko Jumbo, were not screened or did not pass the screening, while those who are loyal to the FCT minister went through the screening as regards the State House of Assembly.
Well, so let me say this. Our party is working through what it's very clearly stated for everybody. And that is that direct primaries will be the main game. So the screening process, I think all of those are being worked out. And the Rivers case, you know, is always a peculiar one. But our party, but our party is sorting it, because what is clear is what our party stands for, that where there is no consensus, there must be direct primaries. And so the people, those aspirants, in fact, the candidates that are popular on the ground, that will help mobilize our local people and explain to them, carry them along as to the impact of the president's reform agenda and how that's getting better for our people, how that message gets across. So I think it will be sorted. I have no doubt in my mind about that.
All right. Honorable Kingsley Chinda was screened. I don't know if you're familiar with the screening process.
Yes, I am, yes.
He wants to be governor. Are you aware?
Yes, I am. But like I said...
And he was screened...
yes, our party is sorting those...
We're coming to that, because I'm wondering, how does it work? Because Honorable Kingsley Chinda is the minority leader in the House of Reps, and yet he's screening to become governor in Rivers State under the umbrella of the APC. How does that work, really?
Okay. So, I think we need to allow our party to sort out what is going on in Rivers State. They're on it. Because I believe in the end, the whole agenda will be the re-election of Mr. President. The Rivers case matter, as I said, is been a challenge, but it's been managed carefully. I think in the end it will come together, because our party is focused on President's re-election.
We'll leave Rivers in 20 seconds or less.
Yes.
Give me an answer. Who is the leader of the APC in Rivers State? The governor? Or who is the leader?
Well, I think what our party has said consistently is that the leader of each state is the governor. But having said that, a governor must also carry the stakeholders along. That's what our party continues to promote.
All right.
That stakeholders must be a part of the consultation and the leadership, because what we need is a united front to deliver Mr. President's 2027 elections, and we will do that. So I'm not so sure that the business of the chicken and the egg is...
How do you intend to do that? How do you intend to get him a second term? Because some people have said that, you know what, this elections is going to be between the APC and Nigerians. It's going to be between those who are, two things, who are hungry and angry against your party.
Okay. So let's deal with that, for example. And I've said this severally on different platforms. Our party and Mr. President welcomes opposition, because opposition is good for democracy. There's no doubt about that. But I want you to imagine what's at play now.
I was going to enter. I was going to
hold on.
For a second say that, look, the opposition are alleging that
hold
the
on.
APC,
I'm not talking about allegations now.
So,
I'm talking about...
I'm wondering how you welcome...
listen.
How you're able to welcome opposition.
Opposition, because it's important for democracy. But the opposition has to help itself. We're hearing this morning that former President Jonathan is also declaring to run for president. So we have them divided on all
It's not official yet. It's not official. We're hearing.
We're hearing.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to imagine what's going on. All the different factions on different platforms of opposition, rather than come together and form one united front to give our party a run for our money, which is what Nigerians are actually desirous of, they are busy on different platforms fighting over who will be president. And I ask, the same thing we ask all the time. What is the essence of the issue of removing Mr. President without alternative views? What would opposition do differently? Is it the business of platforms and presidency for the sake of it? Let's have a conversation on what concerns Nigerians. Which of these policies would they reverse? Is it, for example, crude oil production that is now more than doubled? Is it the bold decision about fuel subsidy removal and the impact that's had on revenue in the states and giving our governors and subnationals the true opportunity to work hard and get the dividends to our people because the funds are there? Which one is it? Is it, for example, so we can go on and on. We don't hear the conversation.
The reality for the average Nigerian is not the fact that the governors have more allocation to play around with.
Yes.
It's the fact that with the huge amount of resources these governors have been given, we understand it's even 100% increase for what President Tinubu has done. And we commend him for that. It's not his personal money, it's the money of the state and Nigeria, so we're not commending him in totality. But it's the fact that these governors have nothing to show for these huge sums of money.
I'm not sure that is correct.
Hold
on. I'm not sure that is correct. Many governors, particularly APC governors, are working very hard. But is there more work to be done? Yes. And Mr. President continues to press on that, to say, you get the funds, focus on your states, get the dividends.
If the governors are working so hard, why is there so much hunger in the land and anger? Why is there still reports of insecurity?
Anger, I'm not sure. Listen, reality check here. I ask, is it not true that inflation has come down? A price of rice, a bag of rice, 50 kg, is now less than 65,000 naira. Beans, yams, tomato, gari, staple foods are down in terms of pricing.
Which market do you use, please?
I'm talking about all the markets. Go to the north, go to the east. Let me tell you something.
Because I had to ask that. Because I'm wondering
all
which
the markets. It's not in debate.
Do you go to?
No, listen. It's not. There's no debate about. I think you ought to do your homework and focus on it.
I have done my homework.
I can tell you that a bag of 50 kg rice is about 65,000 naira or thereabouts. Okay. How much was it last year? Over 100,000 naira.
Okay. Look at the price. You're doing the comparisons to last year.
Of course, but look.
You're doing the comparisons to last year.
Of course.
For Nigerians, the reality is that the reality, Mr. Chukike, is that why should I buy a bag of rice for even 50,000 naira?
Okay.
For a country that has so much vastness in land where we can plant rice, for instance.
Yes.
And I can mention states where we can plant rice. In Cross River, in Ebonyi State, you can plant rice there. So why should a Nigerian be buying a bag of rice for 50,000 naira and above? The price of PMS as it stands now is 130, maybe 1,300, maybe 50 naira thereabouts.
Yes. So you are talking about now the geopolitics globally. Okay, because that's nothing to do with Mr. President. I'm sure you are following. Hold on.
He begs for the job.
You make the point, so let me give the answer.
Go ahead.
Now, you know what's going on in the Middle East. You know about the Strait of Hormuz and the challenge of free navigation. That's caused a lot of problems because the oil markets have been affected. The price of crude is jumped all over the place, including the U.S. So we know the impact of that. But listen, go back to our own local situation. If Mr. President had not supported the Dangote strategy and the perseverance in ensuring that this massive investment materialized, and we now have stability in fuel supply in Nigeria, including aviation fuel that is now being exported. I want you to imagine what would have been going on now, that Nigerians would have found no fuel anywhere, just like many Asian countries are rationing fuel today. So now you talk about rice and local production. Listen, look at the bold step now Mr. President is taking with regards to the issue of bearing the security situation we're facing in Nigeria. State police, asking the governors, you got money now, fund community police. He's engaging with international partners. You just saw a big meeting in Washington just a few days ago, tightening up on this security challenge.
Mr. Chukike, for many Nigerians, we don't want to see. We're tired of seeing these meetings. We want actionable results. We want to feel the impact of some of these meetings. In Plateau State, for instance, over the weekend, there was an attack. Again, fresh attacks in Plateau State. Niger State, yes, the military said, we carried out strikes somewhere in Shiro local government area. Innocent lives were lost in the process. In some parts of the north, I'm particular about the north because in my last visit to Bama in Borno State, what my eyes saw, I've never seen that in the whole of my practice as a journalist for over a decade now. And there are reports that there are local governments in the north, up north, particularly in Borno State, where bandits are feared and terrorists are feared even more than the Nigerian government, where farmers have to go and pay dues to bandits.
Did you get just the report a few days ago of the activities of our security forces in fighting off this menace?
Yeah, we get that.
Of bandits,
the press release.
Even just yesterday.
That they neutralized. Yeah, we hear that a lot.
So the fight is on. Listen, we have porous borders. That's a challenge. We have politically contrived insecurity. That's a challenge. But Mr. President is getting more and more on top of this, marshalling out resources to fight insecurity and give Nigerians that stability in security that is required for us to continue to make progress. Just as in the case of what is now taking personal, the issue of power supply, because that's important. Particularly the strategy of off-grid, encouraging local companies and foreign companies to come together so we can have more IPP-driven approach.
In 15 seconds or less.
Yes.
So you've painted a very fantastic picture on paper. So why are Nigerians not happy with the APC government?
Hey, listen, that may be your perception.
My
Things
perception.
are getting better. Who are they happy?
What is
the alternative? Let me ask you something. Things are getting better. I ask you,
on paper,
any of these
or in the reality?
People gallivanting on different platforms, what are they offering differently? Which of these policies would you reverse? And I wonder, we keep saying this, look at our net foreign reserves today, in excess of 30 billion. Look where we came from, $4 billion just before Mr. President came in. We were on absolute comatose before President came in. And so let's give the man credit. Are we there yet? No. But is there progress? So, and I say this, we cannot afford to experiment. That's what Nigerians cannot afford to do with any of these platforms that are not grounded. This is a time for consolidation. Mr. President will do just that, and the governors will do their bit. Well, I think things are going to get better.
I'm told that we are absolutely pressed for time. We have to have this conversation maybe after the show. Let's continue this argument. But we'd like to leave you here. Mr. Jerry Chukwuke is a public affairs analyst, APC Chieftain, as well as the former chief technical advisor to the Imo State governor. Thank you indeed for your time.
Thank you very much.
We'll have to do this again.
Thank you.
Well, that does it for us here on the program. Everyone, thanks indeed for watching. On behalf of the production team and everyone here, I am Kelly Egiga, and you have just been served on Lunchtime Politics. Good afternoon.